because that is always being taken into. So that effect of the Om, Ma is making this Om, and this Om, when it takes Makarascha Punapragyam, it is called Matra, Na Matra, Amatra, what we call, Na Ama, Matra in sense, Amatra. Amatra is the Nada, or it is a silent zone. That is, we are going about to Turiya stage. Na Matra, Vidyate Agatihi. It is not impossible for us to get. It is not unapproachable. That means we can still approach with the constant upasana of Ma, so that we can also get into that great stage where you almost have no desires in that type of a stage while living in this world. That is one, once you get into that, your quality is as good of that of the great munis or rishis, and you yourself become someone like that. That possibility is very much there. That is what the last verse said. So this possibility, how it can be attained, that is what the fourth kanda comes about. The fourth kanda, first mantra we recited, and we were to see, how that particular mantra's exposition has to be seen here. We recited this mantra. It is in your page 19 or 20. It will be there. Amatras chaturtyo avyavaharyam prapanchopashamam Shivo Advaitam Evam Omkara Atmayeva Samvishati Atmana Atmanam Yayevam Veda Yayevam Veda Amatras Chaturtyo Avyavaharyaha Prapanchopashamaha Shivo Advaitam Evam Omkara Atmayeva Samvishati Atmana Atmanam Yayevam Veda Yayevam Veda. This is what this mantra said. Amatra is Nada. Nada, we said it has got four components. Nada, Bindu, Shanta, Adishanta. See, all the four components, they come from inside the body as a vibration. And when it comes to when you pronounce Om, it comes in the form of Om. So that Om is the highest possible vibration that your body can produce. That producing that, only the mind will have to help. When you are producing, you are in line with consonance with your breath and you are producing it. Amatra Chaturtya, once you have got that, at that point of time, when you are doing meditation, what happens? When you are only observing the breath, exhaling and inhaling, what happens is your thoughts slowly go off. When thoughts slowly go off, you are slowly into the stage, you don't have any desire comes. The desires come in the form of thoughts only. When thoughts stop, you don't have any desire. Once you are not having any desires, you are totally in consonance with the primordial superpower, the Paramatma. You are almost into the custody at that point of time. When you are able to get the full grace and energy at that point of time. So they scientifically also, as they have proved, because that areas which are affected, which are making the disease chronic, they are also becoming deactivated and disconnected, and they are able to give you the benefit of it. This is what, finally you are able to get that. Once you get it, prapanchopashamam, because the worldly thing, end, you don't have any sort of desire, sort of longing for anything the world is to offer. Prapanchopashamam. That is one thing. Prapancha, what it means? Prapancha is whatever, because even the lion's face is in Sanskrit, it is being designated Prapancha Mukha. In the sense, it expands. Because Prapancha, as we have seen Vaishvanara, all our karmendriyas, jnanendriyas, pranendriyas, they all take into this world to experience this world. The Prapancha, we try to expand into this world to get to experience. Upashamam, that comes to an end. Whatever you are trying to get into this world and get the experience, whether it is good, bad, and as well as, to have the best out of this world and everything and all, the prapancho upasham, that entire, your desire to experience the world comes because you have seen all experiences. It doesn't have whatever meaning it has to be assigned, you got it and you have seen it. Over a period of time, you don't find any great meaning into that. You have become more evolved, more matured. You got nothing more to do because it's possible, you will not have anything. If you want, you will try to help some people to get their desires fulfilled. You may start an NGO, you will be participant in that or something like that. So that will happen because the happiness what you will be getting, the satisfaction what you will be getting, by prapanchopashamam is indescribable. Because the whatever happiness you are getting is temporary. It is all, because only for the transient. It is not always continuing. There is no continuity of that. It is not eternal. It is all transient, pleasure, transient happiness in the prapancho. Prapanchopasam. Once you got the transient things and all, you are coming to an end, and now I will have to be peace with myself. I wanted to do so many things. Even, if you are a good musician, you want to teach a lot of children. I think, with now the time is there, online also you teach, or if you know something, because you got certain experience, you are very well versed in certain subjects, you want to train students. You can do all those things, because those are all the things, where you are able to try to give whatever you have got to this world. And that happiness, what you are getting is something eternal. It is not transient. You will always feel the pleasure. It's not that it will not go away. And in fact, it will give you, propensity to do more. So in the prapancha, and once you to stop this, particular worldly activities, once you the desires, no more desires, is not attracting to you into this world, upashamam, it comes to an end. The cessation of the desires in this world comes to an end. That is that, what that they say, the turiya. Amatra chaturthya avyavaharya. Avyavaharya is not transactable. See, because you don't want, anything to gain anything and all, you don't want to, there is no barter. You don't want to give something and get something. In this world, what happens, you take, good food, you like a restaurant, you go and take a food. If you are not careful enough, what happens, what you get is stomach upset. Likewise, whatever you do, and if you take everything, with detached attachment, okay, this is just I need, I will be able to take, that's good enough. Then you are fine with that. Likewise, every experience, every pleasure, or every wealth, whatever you want to accumulate, everything and all. Once you have, as long as you are able to manage, it's okay. So you must be having a wealth, it's good. Managing the wealth is also not. See, people are finding even whatever little they are having savings to manage is very difficult. Prapanchopashamam, because once you have that, yes, I'm having, I'm able to take care of that, and this is giving me enough, and I'm able to live through that satisfaction when you do, and you are trying to concentrate on other noble things. That is what it is. Because even assuming today you are giving 100 crores, will you be able to manage? What you will do? Because a corporate man who is into that, who is in the process of managing millions and millions, and he will be able to do it. Because he knows, the purpose for it. For him, in the prapancha is there. But for him also, because once he does it, he does it as a matter of passion. Once you have a passion, see, when a corporate, when he does, it's not a sin. When he does, he creates a big structure, he gives employment, the economy grows. Not in a position to do, but he is in a position to do. That is his sort of, the daitva is karma. He has to do. Kurvate karmani yat prite sajjanaha. Whatever, because it needs, the entire country needs, the lot of establishment, people are putting up, the capital is coming in, that has to be done. Like each one, whatever they can. That is why it says, whatever your capacity, whatever is your capability, within that you look for the contentment with whatever you are having. Because if you are capable, you can manage that. But if you are capable, you do that. And then slowly the prapancha goes off, it doesn't have any interest in you. You go to a still higher level. Then you become avaharyam. There is no transactable. You are not looking for anything in return in this world. Because you are doing it, you can do it, you are able to do it, and you got a passion to do it. That's all. Nothing more than that. Shivam Advaitam, Shivam is the pure bliss without any speck of iota of any sort of a sorrow, iota of any dissatisfaction, pure bliss, when you are fully, totally contented. And the pure bliss, once you are filled, when it overflows, when the Ananda, Chitananda, when the Ananda overflows, then only the creation takes place. The primordial power also starts the creation when the entire bliss is overflowing. Likewise, once it overflows, you will be trying to do so many things in this world, without any return. That is Shivam. Advaitam is not, you always don't think this body and whatever belonging. Kasyasvitanam, as we have seen, it is all his. Makrita Kasyasvitanam, it is his wealth. You will not have any attachment to what you have. You will not be having attachment to your body, or you will not be attached to him, attachment to have anything and all. In the sense, you will not be totally detached. You will not be having attachment. You will be living the life comfortably, peacefully, contentedly. That is what it says. Advaitam, evam omkara eva, atma eva. Evam omkara, atma eva. This is the greatest statement I have said. Atma eva samvishati, atmana atmanam. This is the greatest Upanishadic statement. This has been interpreted by all the three philosophies, like Advaita, Dvaita, Visishtadvaita differently. Atma eva samvishati, atmana atmanam, in the sense once you get into the stage, desireless stage and all. By God's grace, Atma eva. Atma is who is the one Paramatma, who has given you the power to live here by his grace. This is what the Dvaita and Visishtadvaita interprets. Samvishati takes you by his grace, it takes you Atmana Atmanam. You are taking into the greatest experience of the divine being. You are getting into the custody of the divine being and you are able to experience that bliss. Once you go into that bliss, you don't come back. Your prarabdha karma ends. Once you get into that bliss, perhaps you will not be having any more birth. Punarapi jananam, punarapi maranam doesn't take place. It is that level, when you are going into that. Amatras chatutyo avyavaharya prapanchopashamaha shivo advaitam evam omkaraha atma eva samvishati atmana atmanam. This is one thing, and whereas in Advaita interpretation, the self is supreme. That self takes you into the self itself. The concept of aham brahmasmi comes here. In the sense, self is nothing but Brahman. If self is that nothing but Brahman, I am in this Vyavaharika world. How am I same Brahman? Because that question will come. That is why Advaita has got two things called Paramarthika and Vyavahartika. Once you reach the Paramarthika, that is when you have a Prapanchopashamam, there is nothing in this world, the cessation of the world takes place. And Avyavaharyam, because you got nothing to get, you are beyond that, changeless, you go into that stage. You don't look for anything in return. You get into the bliss. And then you become almost, once you have that knowledge, then you get the Brahma knowledge, you Brahma with. You Brahma realization. It is not you become a Brahma, Brahmasmi in the sense not, you get the Brahma realization. Yes, this is the bliss, where you finally will be getting in. After all this knowledge, what we are talking about, Turiya and everything and all, with this body, mind and intellect, these are all co-terminus with this body. Finally, it will be there in the chitta carried by your subtle body. The subtle body is pranamaya kosha. Finally, the soul which carries the chitta, it will have all these things. Whatever accumulate doesn't go waste. It all get into that treasury trove of the highest knowledge which is being carried. It goes off in that. So therefore, once you know the Brahma's realization in the sense, oh, this is the highest bliss one can attain with this body. And that is how you are able to get this. This is what Advaita says. Self becomes self through self. This is a very sort of paradoxical statement. How self can draw into self and all. Because the concept is from the lower Brahman, the lower stage of Brahman, you are reaching the highest stage of Brahman by virtue of the knowledge of this. The knowledge is primary importance here in Advaita. Whereas the knowledge as well as Bhakti is important, Visishta Advaita and Dvaita. Bhakti, Advaita also doesn't say you should not have any Bhakti. In Vyavaharika stage, with Bhakti alone, you will be able to get. That is why Bhaja Govindam, was recited by Shankaracharya. In Vyavaharika stage, you have to have all this Bhakti. Without Bhakti, Jnana will be useless. You can see, because Vishnu Sahasranama, that cassette where M.S. Subbulakshmi has recited, the first introduction given by Rajaji, he says, Jnana without Bhakti is useless. And bhakti without jnana will not be effective. You have to have both. So why we are having this Upanishadic Vedic knowledge and all? By that we know how from being a mere flesh and blood, with all these hands, eyes and other things, how we can capable of lifting ourselves to the level for which we have been created, for which we have been enabled, for which we are being helped. That is to understand that. That Bhakti is Narada Bhakti Sutra is there. Narada Bhakti Sutra is a great exposition, because it needs a separate subject. Bhakti is total surrender, in the sense you make divine a partner in everything, whatever you are doing. Even if you are suffering, you make him a partner. He's not like, we have got, in income tax, if you are a minor, you are only for the benefit of the partnership. It's not like that. Here you will be for the loss of the partnership also. When you make him a partner, he is a partner in your happiness, in your partner in your sorrow, anxiety also. How does it help? Because that awareness is always there. So we will never have a feeling I don't have anyone. My children are abroad. So I don't have even a close neighbor. I have not seen his face. If you are living in a flat, you will understand. You might not have seen your neighbor or opposite flat who is living for months. Someone must have come and some new one might have come. It is like that. You don't have to have all the feelings. You got always someone who is with you. That is the awareness. Once you make him a partner, and even if you are alone in a desert, you will not feel you are alone. I narrated the story in which Madhvacharya, as a 3-year-old, he was going alone into all the. He slipped off, from the wedding crowd and because he said, I have got someone with me. That is the when you get the feeling, that is you have to make him a partner. You are not alone. When you are suffering, you are not alone. When you think, it has happened to you because God has made it to happen. It's not. He is also with you. In fact, that is a great concept in Visishtadvaita, Saulabhyam and Sauchilyam, because the God is always trying to be, see, they say go to the extent of, if you see, because we will explain a little bit detail in the next session also. He says God, when he wants you to succeed, and when you think, there is a defeat, and he says, I will take the defeat, you succeed. In the sense, you make it a mental condition in such a way, you feel happy. If unhappiness is there, let me take it. For that, very famous story is there. We have narrated, and because we will also be narrating it again. How, he is always trying to help you. He is by your side. He is always with you. But if you don't look up to him, how we will help him? That is why you make him a partner in these things. That is why all the acharyas have given a great concept and all. How, you have to always have the God awareness of the God in you. How to have it? So in fact, Madhvacharya went to the extent of telling, see, in the houses, old houses, of course, now even the lizard is there everywhere and all. Nowadays, with all your medicine, you put all sorts of medicine to make everything fly away. The lizards may not be there, but in the most of the houses it is there. When the lizard, it gives a sound. When it gives the sound, Madhvacharya says it is wondering, because how great the supreme power is. He has created this world. He has given everything to these people. Still they are not satisfied. It says it is wondering, because wondering is creation. So you will say, once you make him a partner, anything small happens, you will be wondering it is by his grace. That is the bhakti. That is the total surrender. With that surrender, you will not have any problem. Nothing will be sort of that will make you unstable. That is what we have seen that. Atmana Atmanam Eva Veda, because it takes you to that particular custody. That is the wonderful custody. Once you know, Ya Evam Veda, Em Veda, this is what one has to understand. Nothing else. This is the only thing anyone has to understand. Other than that, nothing else has to be known or understood in this world for which we have come. Finally, by his grace, once you know you are into the custody of him, and nothing is going to be affected, be it happiness or suffering, everything is going to be in the same proportion, he is going to be your partner. And once you know, because even the knowledge, that he is the consciousness is guiding you as in Advaita, once you know, you become from a lower Brahman to higher Brahman, from Vyavaharika to Paramarthika. You become kind of someone of that. That is, but the fact remains, is as Chinmayananda has said, no one in this world will ever become something like a God-like thing. You can get the grace of the God and bliss of the God and realize the grace of the God. That is what is possible. How that can be taken in this present world with the present experience, that is what it has been said. And we have got about, still we have got 4 karikas. Anyway, I will recite the first karika, and the next 2 karikas I will briefly cover, and then we will go to the essence next week only. Omkaram padosho vidyat padamatra na samshayaha. Omkaram, ma, the knowledge what we have got, padamatra, once we know, padamatra na samshayaha, once you have that, you will not have any doubt whatsoever. You will not be having any sort of, clarity will be there. Full-fledged clarity in your thoughts will be there. Omkaram padosho jnatva na kinchitapi chintayet. Once you know, because the 4 stages, because for 3 stages of Vishwanara, Vishwanara, Tejasa and Prajna, as well as Jagratastana, Swapnasthana and deep sleep, Shushupti. Once you have that, and you also got Turiya, Padasho, Jnatva, once you know it, once you know that, and there is no other thoughts will come to you. You will not get unnecessary thoughts. Na kinchit chintayet. Nothing will come to you, nor you don't have to bother about it. You will become sort of worryless, blissful, worry-free life. What is the eternal wisdom of our Upanishad tells? That is what it has come. So with that, 2 more small versions are there, slokas are there. We will cover, and we will also cover with that essence of Mandukya Upanishad next week. And with the Mandukya Upanishad, we will be talking about, the entire Upanishad concept, what we have discussed all through. In that, we will slightly cover, what is we talked about the creation. The creation we will have to understand, because the creation is the prime point of knowing why the creations have taken place, why we have come into this world. And what is the purpose, everyone, not only as the animals, everything will come into being. And once you know that the creation and this thing is there, our evolution is there, the final evolution when we take after Mandukya Upanishad is there, how it is not going to be some sort of a discussion and all, it is going to be experienced in everyday life. How it is going to enlighten and elevate our everyday life is going to be talked about in the essence finally. This is what, a lot of masters have also pointed out, finally they have given this and all. So that will be the final takeaway from Mandukya Upanishad. Next week, when we say essence of Mandukya Upanishad, the takeaway from the Mandukya Upanishad, not only in philosophical terms, but also in practical terms, how we can live a wonderful life here. With this, I will try to conclude today's session, and we will have a small meditation. I have taken it, and with that, we will go for that meditation, 10 minutes meditation. Sahana Vavatu. सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहैः तेजस्विनावतीतमस्तु मा विश्विदावहैः ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः।